Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, in this reaction video, ladies and gentlemen, I will be discussing why today's men get to the point where they are no longer interested in their wives. Why they have a change of heart when it comes to the woman that they said, I do too. And this woman going to talk about it. You know, I'm going to talk about it as well. And this is for educational purposes only. You know, all my haters hate when I say that. Yeah. So let me go ahead and get into it, y'all. I think y'all might find this kind of enlightening. Hold on for a second. Okay. Now, dig this before you dig that. Let's get it.
If your husband told you, babe, I'm not feeling attracted to you anymore because you gained a little weight after the babies, how would you respond to that? And listen, this is so important to this video. If you're not going to listen to this video without being like, yeah, but I need you to keep scrolling because it's not going to be the video for you. First of all, shout out to Queen because this video is so good. And even though I'm on the other side of that as a wife, there are so many things that she says in this video that are so important for wives to understand. So if you have the time and the patience and the energy and the restraint to not go on that video and be like, yeah, but, because she's dropping nothing but the truth, okay?
Just to let you know, she's making reference to a video that I'm going to be covering probably tomorrow about a woman talking about why men are losing their attraction to their wives. Now she's about to comment on that. So I don't want to leave y'all in the dark about that, but we're about to get into the meat and potatoes of it now. After she finished saying that one part, let's go ahead and get to it.
Okay, most of what she said is absolutely true. And I like that she said most men and not all men or not men. I don't even think it's most men. I think that there's a lot to be said about the things that she said in this video. So with that being said, one of the things that she addresses in this video that's like, she doesn't really say it, but it's the addressing. And I'm going to tell y'all, I used to work at Hooters. So like definitely not the same as stripping, but the same concept where you had a lot of regulars that would come in and they would talk to you. You had some married men that would come in and they would talk to you and they would tell you certain things. And you would realize, like, it never tainted my idea of marriage. It just made me understand, like she says, the way that men think. One of the things that she said was that men go into marriage with their soulless dream too. Like they think they're going to get all of their needs met by one woman. And what happens, y'all? We get married and we let everything else, what did we talk about yesterday? We let everything else start to become a priority over our husband. Y'all are arguing for the right to look crazy. If I can't be comfortable in my house, I don't need to be married to him, then don't get married. Because it's not fair to that man that when y'all were courting, you were putting it on. You had the face, you had the makeup, you had your hair done. You were always looking good. And now that you're married and you got him, and y'all got these kids, you want to be walking around with your cookie stained t-shirt on all the time. And you're like, oh, why is he not attracted to me? Because you're not doing the same things, right?
In other words, women often complain about their men. They say that when I first got the man, he used to do X, Y, and Z, but now he stopped doing those things. And let me tell you something, lady. It's the same thing. A lot of y'all come out looking fine, looking good, treating men right. But as soon as he get in a relationship with you or marries you, you figure, hey, I got the man now. I don't got to keep doing the same things that I was once doing for him. That is a form of neglect. And at the same time, when you do things like that, or you stop doing things that you know that your man liked, you are increasing the temptations that exist outside of your home that you have with him. Women are always going to be out there trying to compete for somebody's man. They don't say that, but they will always come out there trying to look good, and they don't have no problem sleeping with your man. Now, a lot of you women, you kind of help push the man into the arms of another woman based on your attitudes and your behavior and your reluctance to maintain your weight, your appearance, among other things. And yes, weight. I don't know why women get upset when men speak about weight. Now, of course, if you have a baby, yeah, you have a little baby fat, come on. But you can get that off of you. The problem is you don't want to get a lot of it off of you. You don't. You want to keep going and going. The woman that you become is not the woman that he was with in the beginning. You become a totally different looking woman. You become a totally different acting woman. And that totally different woman is not the woman that he married, and that is not the woman that he was first physically attracted to. So you cannot expect the man to remain faithful and loyal to you when you have changed yourself.
And this is not meant to be hurtful. Like, I'm not even saying, like, yo, I have on a little matching set with a ponytail. I'm just saying, get up and look decent. Like, I'm not saying you gotta do the most. It's humid out here. Sometimes the hair is not gonna be down. But I'm saying put in the energy, put in the effort, clean your face, brush your teeth, get yourself together in some regard, and stop walking around in your flannel t-shirt that makes you look frumpy, right? And this is something that I know somebody's gonna be like, yeah, but no buts, y'all, no buts. And this is why we have these conversations. Something else that she mentioned in a few different ways speaks to the first thing that I said. If your husband comes and tells you, babe, I really feel like this. We think that men are not emotional. We think that they don't feel hurt. But I promise you, if you are not being intimate with your husband over long periods of time, he is hurt. He is emotionally wounded. And he might go find himself a stripper. He might go see Queen. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's not our fault. This is also why it's important to know who you're marrying and what their control is. But we cannot deny the fact that you're pushing him in that direction when you're withholding intimacy from him. And that's
just like I said, women push men into the arms of other women daily, okay? Women today are neglectful and selfish, okay? And when they neglect the man, they act as if he should not feel hurt. He should not feel abandoned. He should not feel as if he is less than by the woman that he chose to marry. Okay, that's lunacy, all right? When you neglect your man, whatever happens from that point on is on you. You knew when you first, every woman knows when they first get a man, they know they got to please him in bed. They know they got to treat him right. They know they got to make him feel good. You know this shit. But once you get him, you throw all that out the window and you start putting yourself on the pedestal, probably because he started doing that first. But you put yourself on the pedestal and feel like he ain't going to leave you. He'll leave you. Or he'll allow you to leave, because there's always going to be an option for a good, productive man. And there's always a woman that'll do something that you won't do. I mean, a lot of them. It's more women who will do what you won't do than there are men who will do the things that your man is not doing for you. Because women outnumber men on the face of this beautiful planet.
Any man, okay? So we also have to address that elephant in the room. Why did you marry this man if you had no plans of being intimate with him ever? And then why are you trying to hold him hostage and then villainize him for having his needs be so important in forefront, and now he's frustrated, but you're just constantly denying him. So now the intimacy that he thought he was going to get in this relationship, his wife is holding out, and now he feels like he has to go over here. Not saying that it's right, but we're saying that it happens. Now, this is also where I'll bring in the point that it's your responsibility as a Christian woman to find yourself a man of God that has self-control, and that understands restraint, right? That's his part. But then your part, girl, is not holding on that man, because the Bible tells us that our bodies don't belong to ourselves anymore after marriage. We belong to each other.
That's correct. Once you get married, your body don't belong to you anymore. It belongs to that man. That means every hole on your body belongs to that man. So that means you really can't say no to certain requests that he has. Now, he cannot take what you have, because that would be wrong. You understand? But you're really supposed to be willing to do whatever that man asks of you in marriage in the bedroom. See, the situation is, a lot of times men will find women who would do those things that you will not do. You understand what I'm saying? There are women who are more fun to be around than their wives. I don't know why y'all can't seem to understand this, but it's the truth. So your body don't just belong to you anymore, lady. It belongs to that man. So that doesn't just mean physically in bed. That also means that the way you look, the way you present your body also belongs to that man. You are supposed to look a certain way for that man that is pleasing to that man. You're supposed to have a certain type of behavior that is pleasing to that man. And for some reason, a lot of you women have gotten away from that simple teaching of catering to your man. Let's go.
Right? So that's that. That's something else that this video, girl, this video, okay, I'm not even gonna unpack the whole video. One of the things that I want us to remember as married women is that if you're not creating a space for your husband to be vulnerable, he's gonna do it somewhere else, either with the bros, with another lady, going to the strip club, something, okay? So you can think that it's all good and it's all fine and that you can act and behave in the way that you want, but if you're constantly neglecting your husband emotionally, physically, it's going to be a problem. It's going to become a problem. And I love how vulnerable she was about it. But the only thing that I would say is I don't think there's a need for you to like completely lose hope in marriage. I forgot the last thing that I was saying. My baby started crying.
Let me say this: spaces of vulnerability. Every man wants a space of vulnerability. Now, what do I mean by that? A vulnerability can be anything for a man. A space of comfort. A space of vulnerability could be chilling with the bros. He can tell them things that's on his mind that's bothering him. He can go play golf. He can go play basketball. He can go shoot pool. Someplace where he can open up to somebody he knows. And your woman, now you can't open all the way up with a woman. You don't ever want her to think that you're weak. Unfortunately, you could never let a woman really see an emotional side of you to an extent, because they start to think differently about you for some reason. Now, if you have a loved one who dies and something like that, and you break down emotionally, some things are within reason, but you can't be whining and stuff like, oh, my job is hard. Oh, my God. You can't be that type of vulnerable. That type of vulnerability has to be expressed to your homeboys. Like, man, my job is fucked up, man. You complain to your homeboys. But when you get to your woman, you don't do that. You shouldn't do that, because she's going to start thinking that you are a whiny little puppet baby, little garbage pile kid. I hate to say that. They won't say that to you. They might even tell you, no, baby, be open with me. Then they'll use whatever you said against you when you get in a goddamn argument. That's another reason why you keep your vulnerabilities and you're very selective about who you expose that to. There's a certain type of vulnerability that you expose to your woman. I might do a video about that later. I don't know. Let's keep going.
But yeah, it's part of the responsibility. Just like if you as a woman got into this relationship and now you're like, this man isn't protecting and providing for me, you would feel some type of way because you got into that relationship thinking that that's what he was going to do, right? So we have to take responsibility for the things that we are doing in our own marriages. We have to, yes, there's within reason if you gain weight after having a baby, that's understandable. We're not saying that. We're talking about reasonable requests being made toward the actions that you're taking to be a better person. So if you're walking or you're making it a point to prioritize your personal health and you're making it a point to watch the things that you eat, you're going to be more in control of what you look like as a being. Again, I don't want to hear the no buts. Yeah, but yeah, I don't want to hear that, y'all.
I don't want to hear it either, but let me say this right here. What she said, when a woman get a man and he already provides and all this other yada, 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 right? And he stopped doing that, you get mad because you say, hey, wait a minute. You're supposed to be consistent with this. You're supposed to be consistently providing and protecting me and doing the things of a man. You know, right? So it's the same thing with us. When we get you, we expect you to be consistently beautiful. If we think you're beautiful, we want to hold you accountable for the responsibility of keeping your body up, having a good attitude. See, the thing is, men are not the ones who are not always consistent. A lot of time it's the woman who's inconsistent and they are lazy and they don't want to keep up something that they know drew the man that they have to them. You get me? So this is why a lot of men are tired, or some of them even hate their wives. Anyway, you let me know what you think about this. I'll be talking to y'all real soon. You take it easy now. You hear?